Hi, my name is Brittany Wongan, and I'm here to take you through my wildlife trafficking exhibit. A few design challenges that came with this exhibit were choosing a typeface that conveyed the appropriate emotion while maintaining legibility and readability. Another challenge I faced was deciding on a third supporting interactive element. After multiple revisions and receiving a lot of feedback, I actually decided to confront the viewer by actually adding a mirror element to my exhibit. So that way, when the viewers got to the very bottom corner of the exhibit, they would be forced to look at themselves and see if they are actually contributing to this ongoing issue. I believe my imagery is very strong, using the emptiness of the silhouettes on top of the elephant with the overlay of the ivory products, I think is very strong, and it helps to convey this emotion that there is an issue. Another highlight would be my touch to understand panels. I made them as sliders, so you can actually touch and feel the scales, but you slide them to see what the scales are then used for, as not everyone is aware of what all of these products are actually used in, therefore, unknowingly buying these products and supporting this wildlife trafficking issue. I determined what interactive elements should be included by observing what is successful in a museum exhibit. Interactive elements that show a cause and effect make the issue on a smaller scale, thus making the viewer feel that this goal is obtainable, such as making a baobab tree bloom with a good amount of pledges. It's a small and it's a very obtainable goal versus tackling the entirety of wildlife trafficking all at once and almost overwhelming the viewer. I also wanted to add a 3D rendering of my exhibit to give you the full view and experience that a viewer would have if seeing this in real life, to see the typeface in action, to see the body size in action, to see how well this imagery portrays emptiness, and as well as to highlight my interactive elements, such as the sliding panels that reveal the products and the blooming baobab tree. I believe the mirror element is a very strong addition to my interactive elements, as this really makes the viewer take a step back and pause and really see if they are also contributing to this. We also designed a booklet to accompany our exhibit. I titled mine The Weight of 100 Million, which actually leads me to one of my, I believe, stronger spreads. I believe this spread is strong because the visuals draw the viewers in enough to read over the powerful message the spread sends. I believe the hierarchy is well balanced and the typeface conveys the appropriate emotion in this spread as well, as it combines the frayed, distressed title typeface with the smaller subheading bold in your face typeface, as well as the paw prints to really convey how many animals are actually being affected, because the number just seems so unrealistic. Another spread I feel is very strong is my 3D clock prototype process. This layout was used throughout the booklet, so this is one of my reoccurring layouts, kind of to help the book breathe in between different text heavy pages, different image heavy pages. So this one kind of combines both of them, as well as breaking up that text to make you really travel across the page here. I think the hierarchy is really well done in this spread. It highlights the design process of the social issue clock exhibit while also maintaining the visual system that I have used throughout this booklet. I also wanted to incorporate those emotional pauses, as the topic is a very sad and heavy one. My most challenging spread would probably be my 3D rendering spread. When I first submitted this, it felt like a how-to lesson on how to do a Blender animation, and it didn't match the tone of the book. So I decided to break up the rendering into the highlights of my exhibit and kind of spread those out throughout the page, as well as have the final product on one side of the spread, just to really like make the viewer kind of bounce around the page a little bit instead of just going into one page, seeing the completed process, and a text that supported almost like a how to do this rendering. I think I could still improve on this spread. Perhaps I could get rid of like the gray scale background. It really clashes with the booklet. I really like this separated highlighted parts of the exhibit, as this really kind of breaks it down and doesn't force the viewer to view the entirety of the piece, and more so focuses on the importance of the exhibit. This project overall was really challenging to me as a designer. It really pushed me outside of my comfort zone. It really pushed me to focus more on the emotion I would like to portray and convey, as well as learning about emotional pauses in heavy topics like this. I never realized how important they were to a viewer. My most challenging part of the entire design process was deciding on a typeface. I eventually found Despina Pro, which I think really is like a big stamp, and it really makes me think of like the savannah and wildlife trafficking and like what they stamp on like those crates that they use to ship things out. So I really like that. It's very distressed, it's very bulky, it's in your face. And I used it for all my titles. I just think it was very powerful, and I think it was just really hit what I was trying to do. But it took a long time to get there. So, experimenting more with typeface is probably something I'm going to continue working on. Thank you so very much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time, and I hope this was interesting to you. Thank you. Bye-bye.